Hey, boat friends. It's April 30th, and I'm out here on the Black Sunday anniversary. Sad story that happened in Duluth in 1967. I'm here next to the area lift bridge and next to the North and South Pier. And I just came down here. I thought about the story because I saw a news article about it today. And I know that we all know about the green gates and why they were installed. Some people don't. So that's kind of what this story is all about. And so I want to first start out by showing you that the way that you see today, the canal and the pier on both sides is different. Here's how it looked on this day in 67. This is an older photo, obviously, but the pier never changed on either side. They built it with a very wide wall, and that was the issue. There was no gates at that time on either side until this incident occurred, but you can see the wall, how wide it is, and that was the issue. Is people would stand and run on the edge of the wall. And before we get into the story, I want to show you pictures of the individuals that we're going to be talking about. Here's the Coast Guard member. Here are the three brothers. Two of them are twins. And then I dug this up. This is a news clipping right after this incident occurred here in Duluth, Minnesota. But this is the memorial. There obviously was some family members or individuals involved in some way that were here today. And I just want to read this story to you just so there's a clear understanding of what happened that day. On April 30th, 1967, winds were blowing up to 45 miles per hour and Lake Superior's water temperature was just 36 degrees. It was around 7:45 p.m. when witnesses saw brothers Eric, Arthur, and Nathan Halverson, two 16-year-old twins, and a 17-year-old running on a pier here in Duluth, Minnesota. The boys had driven to the pier after a church gathering, their parents later mentioned. One boy was swept off by the crashing waves, and the other two were stranded on the pier near a lighthouse, according to the Coast Guard reports. Volunteers went out to rescue the boys, including three Coast Guard members. One in the picture that I showed you was Edgar Culbertson. The crew tethered themselves together using a rope with 25-foot spacing and set out searching the pier with only a hand lantern to light the way. The men shuffled their way out to the lighthouse without incident, but also without finding those boys. On their way back, Culbertson was knocked off the pier by a large wave, causing him to fall below onto the rocks along the shore of the lake. Fellow Coast Guard member and rescuer Richard Callahan suffered a severe broken wrist as he tried to hold on to the rope along with the third Coast Guard member as well. Despite their best efforts, Edgar Culbertson perished to the storm of the mighty Lake Superior. The three young brothers also died that night. So I really wanted to make sure that we were clear on what happened. And even though we have fun coming down here, checking out the ships, trust me, there's never a day that I come down here that I don't pass this memorial to these individuals. And, I grew up in Minneapolis, so I was a city guy. And, once I did find out about the story about a year or so ago, it really changed my perception, ever going out onto the lake, with bad storms like that. And even though I come down here with that weather, I'm here on land and I'm safe. And I really think about these mariners that are out there on these lakes with these terrible storms that happen. But here's the green gates. They're closed today. And, it's a somber day. It really is. But I wanted to come down here and kind of complete the story about those boys and the Coast Guard member and come down and show you this memorial that's dedicated to them. So, we'll always have fun with these ships, no doubt about it. But, keep this in your heart when we're watching these ships and watching the weather, and just know that Mother Nature, Lake Superior is the real deal. So anyway, just wanted to pass the story along, and I'll be out here with the next ship. Take care.